This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement. Alert. Alert. This is an emergency live stream. Please stand by for a Smitty announcement.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
We've got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Two things kind of going down right now here at the Fantasy Football News Desk.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, Robbie Anderson causing chaos in Carolina, almost headbutting a coach and getting tossed out of the game, and then gets traded. And you wonder when the Arizona Cardinals make a move, right? They trade for Hollywood Brown, and you think, oh, they're going to use this draft capital in the draft, but no, they trade for Hollywood Brown. Then the DeAndre Hopkins suspension news breaks. They trade for Robbie Anderson. You think, okay, maybe they're worried about Hollywood Brown, but when the Cardinals take action, you know something's going on. And so we found out shortly after the Robbie Anderson trade, where the Arizona Cardinals acquire Robbie Anderson via trade from the Carolina Panthers. Shortly after, we get this piece of news right here that talks about Hollywood Brown potentially being done with a season-ending foot injury. He's undergoing further testing today to determine the extent of the injury, but when you hear something like this early on, before the testing's even done, usually it's second opinions or they kind of know what's going on. And this kind of information usually doesn't get released unless it does sound like they're trying to figure out if there's anything else they can do or any other approaches they can take, non-surgical, whatever. So we'll find out more on the foot injury, but it does sound like Hollywood Brown is out for the season. Early reports indicate. Don't drop them yet. Let the dust settle. Let the information come out. But prepare for being without Hollywood Brown. That's a huge blow to fantasy football owners that have Hollywood Brown and that have been counting on Hollywood Brown, who's been delivering right around top 10, top 12, top 8 to 12, depending on your scoring fantasy football numbers. Now, Hopkins is coming back in the nick of time. DeAndre Hopkins, serving his 6-game suspension, will now return to the Arizona Cardinals lineup, and just in time. Hollywood Brown probably done for the season. Hopkins vaults right into the number 1 spot, and that's good news for the Arizona Cardinals, who essentially had Hollywood the entire time Hopkins was out, and now they get Hopkins back, and they're kind of right-sized again to where they were prior to any kind of trade. This is kind of a negative, right? Because the Arizona Cardinals were about to be handed a potential top 12 wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins to go along with a top 12 wide receiver in Hollywood Brown. Things were looking up for Kyler Murray, right? And he was going to get the additional piece in Robbie Anderson. But we knew the Cardinals had some other bad news to break the moment they made a trade, executed a trade that meant something else was going on. So what does this mean? How do we break it down from a fantasy football perspective? Number one, Hopkins is going to be a top 12 potential wide receiver if he can remain healthy. Now, remaining healthy is a big question mark, right? The PEDs, how does that play into his body and ability to stay healthy? Sometimes players that are on PED substances, whatever, can come back and get banged up because their body's used to being on this substance, or there's some kind of other issue going on with the body, which is why they're on the PEDs to begin with. Then there's, people saying that the PEDs, it was, something he almost appealed. It's not a big deal. It's nothing going on. It was just something he shouldn't have done, but he's not reliant on this or that. His body's fine. He's going to be healthy. We don't really know. Everybody's guessing. Nobody knows. Nobody has any clue what's really going on in Hopkins's, wheelhouse. So we're going to find out what's going on with Hopkins very soon. I think it's safe to assume he's going to vault right into top, I don't know, let's call it 12 to 15 wide receiver potential numbers, his first game or two back, and let's see what we have. But if you own Hopkins, you've been waiting this out. You've been waiting this painful 6-game stretch out, waiting for this man to return to the lineup and become fantasy relevant. And congratulations for you, for having this man sit there on your bench waiting to get into the lineup. And it's the waiver wire video we already dropped, right? But I always keep this, ready to go to pull back up and adjust and adapt as we go. So now we have to include Robbie Anderson on this list. So let's go ahead and copy that and put Robbie Anderson, and let's figure out where we're going to slide this guy into. Maybe he goes right around, let's see. Maybe he goes right around, let's see where we're going to put Robbie Anderson. Maybe Robbie Anderson goes right around this area. Okay? Jaylen Warren, somewhere around that range of player. Do I think he's number one? No. Do I think he's above these stashes that feel like they could help you a little bit better, make trades, or, having a running back option like Kenyon Drake? Probably not. I think Robbie Anderson goes somewhere around the 3, 4, 5, 6 overall range for additions. Now, I think, I don't know. I think maybe, we're worried about Hollywood. That means Rondale Moore needs to be talked about as well on this list, because Rondale Moore probably available in more leagues than we imagine. I'll look that up in a second to find out the actual stats, but Rondale Moore probably more valuable than Robbie Anderson, but who knows? So we got to put him somewhere in this list right here. So I'm just going to put both Rondale and Robbie right there, but the Cardinals will lean upon one of those guys, if not both of them, heavily going forward. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. The Cardinals are getting hit with injuries, but they take care of business. I'll give them that. Going and getting Robbie Anderson, boom, like that, before the news really even broke that Hollywood was potentially going to be out for the season. They take care of business. They strike fast. I give the Cardinals that. I give Kingsbury that. The Cardinals have a lot of work to do, though. Hopefully Hopkins can come back and have, like I said, a top 12 fantasy football type of season go forward. And if you own him, I mean, that's such a good piece to add to your arsenal, to be, let's say you're struggling at wide receiver 2. Hopkins could be a top 12 fantasy football wide receiver. Don't count on it. I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I need to see him stay healthy. I don't think he's dropped off in talent. It's been about how healthy can he stay. It's been about how much volume is he going to get. But, we'll see. He's definitely going to be called upon. I was worried about Hollywood Brown's value taking a dip now that that Hopkins is returning. And I was worried about Hopkins' value being in the top 12 for wide receivers go forward, top 10, 12, 13, 14, given the presence of Hollywood Brown. Now that's been solved. You own Hopkins, you can pretty much expect at least high-end wide receiver 2 numbers, I think, out the gate. Now, could he have some rust and cobwebs on him walking into his first game? Sure. But I think Hopkins will start producing very, very well, very, very fast. Clicky with a super chat, Faith with a super chat, and let me get these super chats on the screen here. We've got another super chat by Matt. I think we've got the 3 super chats that you guys have dropped on screen here. So let me get to these real quick. Would you trade Renfrow for Robbie Anderson? That seems like an even swap, bro. We don't really know. I don't know how effective Robbie Anderson will be right away. He's the kind of player that can, change teams. I think can do fairly well fairly quickly. But I don't know. I mean, Renfro's probably safer. Robbie Anderson's probably a higher risk, higher reward. You're gonna have to pick your poison on that. I'm not sure. I'd rather have Rondale Moore. He knows the offense. He's in that. He's a target, hog. He's been doing it there in Arizona longer, obviously. So he's more comfortable. And Kyler's more comfortable with Rondale. So if Rondale's available, go after Rondale. Let's see here. Clicky says, who do you like better, Robbie or Rondale? There you go. Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore's a really good wide receiver, a really hard worker, a very strong kid. He can out squat most linemen in the NFL, and he's a 5'8" little guy, but he's stocky. He's like a mini refrigerator. He's the size of a refrigerator, but just in mini form. He's like 5'8". He can out squat almost every lineman in the NFL. Dude's smart as can be. I think he had like 25 plus credit hours his final semester in college to graduate in 2 years while he was playing his final season of college football. Guy can out bench press most people, even twice his size. And he's a strong, very shifty, very quick, a jet sweep like type wide receiver that has a lot of upside. So Rondale Moore's the guy I feel like has the most uptick in value. Hopkins is already on the rise, and I'm certainly bumping Hopkins up with the absence of Hollywood go forward, assuming this report is correct and Hollywood's out for the year. But Rondale Moore is the guy that quietly gets the biggest bump. So that's why I put him on the waiver wire list here, because he needs to be addressed and added, because he's kind of available in more leagues than I imagine. Let me pull up that stat right here and give you an idea of what we're looking at. So Rondale Moore looks like he's rostered in only 60% of fantasy leagues. So he's available in 40% of leagues. So he should have been on my list to begin with. Take a lap, me, for not putting him on the first video.
Take a lap.
But he's on there now. And again, if you want that list right here, here's the week number 7 waiver wire ad list. Rondale Moore's now on it. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop a comment. Let's do like a speed round type of question and answer in a minute. But I want to talk about this specific situation. So if you guys could give me your thoughts on it, I would appreciate it. And we can then discuss, what do you think about this? What is it that you expect out of Rondale Moore? What is it that you expect out of Robbie Anderson right away? What do you expect out of Hopkins? What do you expect out of Kyler? There's a lot of fantasy implications here. I wasn't going to go live immediately on the Robbie Anderson trade. I thought, if Rondale Moore's not out for the year, if Hopkins is coming back, it's tough to imagine Robbie Anderson being ultra relevant. But now things have changed. Hollywood being out for the year potentially definitely changes some things. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Jameson Williams, hold, Kyler or Geno? I'm going to say Jameson Williams is a hold. Kyler over Geno, go forward. I'd probably say Kyler. He's getting his weapon back that he's very, very comfortable with still. Hopkins. I think Kyler will do okay. Could Geno outscore him? Sure. But I'm taking Kyler. The rushing upside. It would be hard for me to not take Kyler Murray. I get the appeal of Geno. Geno's a great story, and he's a good player. G Money with a $20 call.
Mashed potatoes!
Geno. G Money. Man, what a season. I'm 3-3. Lost Javonte earlier. Now here's my team. QB Burrow, running back JT Algier, wide receiver CD, tight end Tunyon, Mike Williams in the flex, B-Rob, Knox, Warren, Gainwell, Rashad White, next move, 0.5, 12-team PPR, wide receiver Hollywood. So it looks like you lost Hollywood Brown on top of Javonte. You've been hit hard, G-Money. You've been hit hard. But Burrow's coming in strong. We knew that would happen eventually. He's number 5. Burrow's number 5 on the QB. Where's my pancake?
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
To the moon.
You know, there's reason to be like, okay, you know, stack above all stacks. No, that's going to be Diggs and Allen, right? And granted, it is. You know, that's the number 1 stack in fantasy football. But this whole thing, this concept here,
the stack above all stacks.
It wasn't designed to be the highest scoring necessarily. It's more about the cost of entry. The fact that Burrow was a 6th or 7th round pick and that Chase was, you know, bottom of round 2 or bottom of round 1 where Diggs was. So you have, you know, in the Josh Allen, you're spending about 2, 3, 4 rounds higher. Now, in hindsight, do I feel like maybe Josh Allen and Diggs was worth the cost of entry even more so than Burrow and Chase? Probably, but I think Burrow and Chase are going to earn that value and try and make that an actual even push. So at the end of the year, when you say, was it better, depending on who you drafted in the 3rd round over Josh Allen, because that's the whole key, right? You take Burrow in round 6 or 7, you take Chase at the bottom of 1, you take Diggs at the bottom of 1, or you take Josh Allen in the middle of 3 or the top of 3. So what did you do with that pick? You know, if you spent it on ETN, you've been waiting on ETN. Now ETN could earn his 3rd round value eventually, and right now he hasn't, but he's looking promising. But like, yeah, in hindsight, in a perfect world, hindsight's 2020. Sometimes it's 50-50. Hindsight's 2020. And you're like, okay, Josh Allen was worth the 3rd round pick. Like, Josh, you draft Josh Allen in the 3rd round.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
This is why I'm a big advocate of the early quarterback, you know, and I was all about Josh Allen in the 3rd round. I just love Burrow in the 6th or 7th round a little more given the cost of entry. But I defend Josh Allen in the 3rd round all the time. I defend Mahomes in the 4th round. I defend early quarterback because no one else is there to defend it. I am the defender. I am the one who defends early quarterback. And I think I was vindicated this year when Josh Allen clearly earned his 3rd round value. Top of the 3rd, middle of the 3rd, doesn't matter. Josh Allen is king. And if you drafted Josh Allen in round 3, you're crushing it right now. I don't even need to know your team. Unless you lost Javonte and a whole bunch of other players, Swift and St. Brown, you had all these guys. You are winning with Josh Allen. So I don't want to hear next year when we start talking about early quarterback again. I don't want to hear Bob coming in and going, Smitty, you don't take a quarterback early. Enough of that. Enough of it. We do midseason mock drafts. Guess where Josh Allen goes? Round 1. Or the top of round 2. Stop with the 3rd round is too early for Josh Allen. Just stop. Your argument is non-existent. Non-existent. Josh Allen crushes 3rd round value. And what did I tell you in the offseason? When everybody said, Josh Allen, he's not worth a 3rd rounder. And I said, when week 1 kicks off, this is what I always say. When week 1 kicks off, where are you valuing a guy like Josh Allen or Mahomes or whoever's your quarterback? Now, Herbert's been, you know, dragging his feet a little bit. Not all his fault. He's been injured. Keenan Allen's been out. Let's give Herbert a little breathing room. Look at Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow. Burrow was busting to some degree. He's number 5 in most quarterback scoring rankings right now. He's QB 5 now after 1 game where he dropped 4 TDs and 300 yards passing. He's number 5. So let's not act like Herbert can't get on his horse and get back into the mix. But bottom line is this. The moment week 1 kicks off, guess what? Quarterbacks like Josh Allen are worth top 15 overall picks. What does that tell you? that tells you that on draft day, people, they don't know what time it is. People don't understand the assignment during draft day, on draft day, because they don't love Josh Allen in the third round when they should. He's not a reach in the third round. He'd be a steal at 2.12. Josh Allen would be a steal at 2.12. Josh Allen would be a steal at 2.08. But you have all of these irregular Ians out there, and these worried Williams, and these over-analyzing Oscars, and these statistical Sammies that literally try and tell you, hey, Smitty, just the quarterbacks fall so late at such a deep position. No, I don't know which one I like. I just take whoever's left because that's how I draft. I'm an Excel sheet Eric, and I just use Excel sheets only. I draft off them, and once I have my Excel sheet set, I don't waiver. I don't use opinion. I don't use my gut instinct. I use analytics only. I'm an analytic Eric, spelled with an A, and I don't waver. I don't waver, Smitty. I'll never waver. Josh Allen crushes from third round value. Learn your lesson. And again, I don't regret drafting Burrow in round 6, 7 on occasion over Josh Allen. But as I said all offseason, you need to mix up what you're doing. You need to have a different team here, a different team there, diversify, not all your eggs in one basket. So you need to draft Josh Allen in the third round in a couple leagues. You need to draft Mahomes in round 4 and say, you know what, Mahomes is fine in round 4. You need to draft Joseph Burrow in round 6 or 7. You needed to do all of that to diversify. So Josh Allen, as much as you love Burrow, you should have a share. If you're doing 3 or 4 leagues, you have no excuse not to have Josh Allen in one of your 4 leagues. Zero excuse because of the early quarterback draft strategy that we talk about all offseason long. Stop with it. Okay, next year I don't want to hear a single word about you don't take a quarterback early. Someone comes in here and says, you don't take a quarterback early, Smitty. I'm going to absolutely lose it because you should have learned your lesson by now. Back on point here. Hopkins, yes, Hopkins to the moon, Antonio. And I'm sorry, G-Money. I got to help G-Money with this question here. Burrow, I got on a tangent, G-Money, because of Burrow, I think. I forget. You've got JT. Don't sell JT. You've waited on him. You're 3-3. That's actually a really good record considering what you've endured. And you've got Burrow firing on all cylinders. You've got JT coming back, most likely. We'll find out. We'll have more news on that. You got Mike Williams about to pop off tonight, right? And what do you do with that? Do you trade him high? I trade him high. Do you maybe try and get yourself into a safer wide receiver, trade into a doubted DK Metcalf before Mike Williams tanks? I probably would. Michael Pittman was one of my favorite go-gets walking into week number 6, and now you can't get him anymore. Michael Pittman, phenomenal buy low. St. Brown, G-Money, this guy's already had a bye. This guy has already had his bye, and he's a top 6 wide receiver monster. And yet people are like, I don't know what to do with St. Brown. You don't know what to do with St. Brown? If you don't know what to do with St. Brown, which is start him and thank him later, give him to somebody else that cares. Give him to me. I'll take St. Brown. St. Brown is going to be on my buy low list. And granted, you're not going to steal him away. No one's a complete imbecile and going to just give him and hand him away. But it's like everyone's doubting this guy because he came back and didn't do it. And they're like, okay, came back, his ankle's going to bother him. He had a bye week. He rested. St. Brown is an absolute monster. Jameson Williams is scaring St. Brown owners. So people are very fickle. And you can take advantage. You can truly take advantage of an owner that has St. Brown right now that's looking at 2 things. Worrying about the injury. Is he still hampered? Worrying about Jameson Williams. Once 2 fears start piling up on top of each other, owners start looking at the worst case scenario. They try and break up with the player before the player breaks up with them. And that's the psychology in fantasy football that I love to bring to the table here with your boy Smitty. You know, I have a psych degree. I can dabble. And dabble I will. And I'm going to dabble psychology straight into this conversation and tell you that people are fickle. And you can certainly go get a guy like St. Brown cheaper than you should by a significant amount too. It's not like, oh, you'll slip in and just get him a little bit of a discount. St. Brown can be had very easily because of the two fears. Jameson Williams, maybe he was a fluke because he came back. Maybe the ankle injury, threefold. Fluke, maybe he just had a really good start. Ankle injury, maybe it hasn't gone away. And they don't even consider the bye week. Bye week advantage is huge. Huge. To trade for St. Brown, who no longer has his bye week in the way. That's like another 30 or 40 points with St. Brown. 25 to 30 points, let's call it. That's an extra 25 to 30 points. No bye week nightmare for this guy moving forward. Go buy him now. And I don't know that you're going to be able to do that using CeeDee Lamb or using Mike Williams, but you might want to try. CeeDee Lamb might get it done, G-Money. If you get St. Brown and you have JT and you have Burrow and you turn Mike Williams into I don't think you can anymore, but you can certainly try to get Pittman. Maybe the Pittman owners are fearful that he won't do it again. Maybe you somehow can get yourself into a Walker. I don't know. I doubt it, but people are weird. I've seen people say, Smitty, do you like Walker moving forward? And they give me some strange name of a player that I wouldn't even start. So before we get into that rant where someone says, Smitty, no one's doing that trade. You don't know what anybody's going to do. You don't know. And that's why I'm going to do a lot of psychology and fantasy football trade negotiation videos. I do those all the time, but not as much as I'm going to do in 2023. I'm going to make you all psychology experts when it comes to negotiation in fantasy football, trading and negotiation tactics. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it all the time, and we're going to break it down. Foot in the door phenomenon. Foot in the door phenomenon in terms of trading is a critical way to acquire a player. Everybody's getting lazy. Everyone, even including me, we're all getting lazy because of technology. Technology is ruining our ability to negotiate. You come to me and you say, Smitty, you're wrong. I tried to get so-and-so, and they're just not trading them. I call cap. Don't tell me someone's not trading in your league. It's you. You're the problem. I'm the problem. We're all the problem. Why? Because we're lazy. Why are we lazy? Because of this. Because all we do is send an offer through the app. We don't call. We don't text. We don't have any kind of seed planting, trade negotiation. We just send an offer blindly. We send 4 of them and then we're out. Then we go on our merry way. We get our Starbucks Frappuccino, whatever, cream top Frappo, cafe, latte, whatever you call these things. And then we sit there and we have our app open. We don't even pay anymore. We pay on our phone. We walk up to the desk. They hand us our Frappo. You grab the Frappo. It's got a little smiley face on it. You open up your app. Oh, that trade got rejected. You go on your merry way. Now you go print out your 18 TPS reports. You send them in. You go home. You eat your TV dinner. You go to bed. Rinse and repeat. Send out 2 more random offers blindly. Have no conversations with human beings. Plant no seeds. Let me tell you something. There was a guy in my league many years ago. He would only trade in the car. He would only trade in the car, and only when he was driving. Not even when he was parked at a meter or parked in a drive-through. The guy worked on the road. He drove around all day. When he was parked and eating, he wouldn't trade. When he was at home, he wouldn't trade. On the phone, I thought it was on the phone. He traded on the phone. No, on the phone, wouldn't trade at home. When he was driving, he traded. 80% chance we were trading if he was driving. Maybe I'd have to tweak it. He wouldn't just give stuff away, but I got him in a vulnerable spot any chance I could. Sometimes he took advantage of me. Sometimes I was so excited he was driving, I might have given away too much. But I figured out through pattern recognition, psychology, negotiation tactics, that this guy would trade when he was driving. I don't know what it was. Something about going about his day, right? Think about the psychology in this. Going about his day and looking forward to something new, something fresh. Changing the room around, moving the furniture around. He's driving and he's thinking about his day. He's got a long day ahead of him. He's a lot of driving, 5 hours of driving ahead of him, right? I need something fresh to think about while I'm driving. Let's do a trade. Okay, let's trade so-and-so, so-and-so. That's too much. Forget it. I'll do it. Does the trade. I picked up on that this guy would trade whenever he was driving. You can't do those things when you're sending blind trade offers with no conversation, no texting, no seed planting, no foot in the door phenomenon. So don't come to me and say no one's trading in my league. Stop it. I call cap. I say you're getting lazy. I'm getting lazy. We're all getting lazy. Let's get back to the drawing board. Let's get back to using trade techniques. You can't use trade techniques and tactics in a automated trade offer blind message that gets rejected. Another thing you got to think about, time of day you send a trade. Does somebody have the ability to get advice? Does somebody, when you call them and do a verbal offer on the phone, which is so underrated because most verbal offers are regrettable when you're getting pestered to do a trade. Think about how many times you've done a trade that you regret doing the minute you did it. The minute you accepted the trade, you said, I shouldn't have done that trade. How many times were you being pursued? Most of the time, right? And a lot of times the verbal offers are the ones you regret the most. Why? Because you don't have the phone a friend option. You don't have the ability to get advice. You're on your own. You're being pressured. You make the trade verbally. That is some of the best way to get an advantage in a trade is a verbal trade offer. Do them. They still work. Maybe the person backs out and doesn't stick to their word. You can't control that. But the more you do these negotiations and one-on-one conversations, the more likely you are to be able to deploy trade techniques and experience you've gained over the years. So when you say no one's trading in my league, I don't believe you. I think you need to work on your trade technique. I think you need to do something different. I think you need to maybe go after a different player. Order of questioning. Hey, Bob, let's say you want Eckler. Hey, Bob, can I have Eckler? No. Okay. Okay, we're dead in the water. Trade's done. You can't get Eckler. It's order of questioning. Hey, I would like to come after Diggs. I'm not trading Diggs. Okay, what about Josh Allen? Oh, I'm not trading the stack. Okay. In his mind, Bob's already kind of confirmed the two most important pieces to his team are Josh Allen and Diggs. Now you say, well, who else do you have? He doesn't necessarily want to trade Eckler, but you get him to say it. Who else do you have? Well, I have Eckler. He may say, I have Eckler, but I'm not trading him. He wasn't going to trade Eckler. You were dead in the water from the beginning. You wouldn't have got a deal done. But maybe he says, I've got Eckler. And you're like, I don't know about Eckler. What do you mean you don't know about Eckler? He starts selling you Eckler. There's all kinds of ways to make your odds of getting a trade done just a little bit better. It's order of questioning. You don't sit there and say, hey, Bob, why don't we go to Canton, Ohio? Let's go to the NFL draft. Okay, let's go to the NFL draft. You drive me in your car and we'll split it the whole way. No thanks. But if you go, hey, I'll drive. I've got free tickets. Let's go to the NFL draft. Great. I'll pay for everything. The next day, hey, actually, my car's on the fritz. Can you drive? Yeah, okay, I'll drive. Now you're driving. I'll pay for the gas, though. Okay, cool. Later on, hey, my job's kind of rough right now. Can you pay half the gas? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm going too, so I'll pay half the gas, no problem. Foot in the door phenomenon. You went to Bob and said, Bob, drive me to the NFL draft and pay half the costs. You'd say no, but you do it slowly, foot in the door. He's going, yeah. And before you know it, he's doing something he wouldn't have done if you approached him the full approach at the beginning. It's all about order of questioning. It's all about foot in the door phenomenon. It's all about personal relationship. It's all about trying to solve a problem for that individual. If this person's got no tight end and you know that and you investigate it, you can then try and go after that person's players knowing they need a tight end. They're vulnerable at tight end. They've got a vulnerability that you might be able to poke at. Do research. Stop coming to me and saying you can't get deals done when I know there's better things and better ways to try it. I'll get you all prepared and trained. Don't you worry. This offseason is going to be like no offseason you've ever seen in your life. The things that I feel like we're going to be able to do as we're growing, we're almost at 15.7K. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any live stream. I go live whenever news breaks. Hollywood Brown out for the season. Robbie Anderson traded to the Cardinals. I go live. That's how I roll. I'm also live 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. This is not that show. That show's later. That show's next. 7 p.m. we go live. That's news. That's our news show. I go live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight. I go live. That's why I can barely talk right now. You can barely hear me because I have no voice. I haven't had a voice for years. And when Cody comes in and it drops a $50 super chat, I stand up.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. You know what I'm saying? $50 super chats get addressed right away, as do 20. And I hope I'm G-Money. I don't know what else to tell you other than what I'm ranting about has everything to do with your question. So I'm hopefully I'm inspiring you to maybe make some trades, go after St. Brown, go after Swift somehow, try and get an advantage. G-Money, you need every advantage you can get losing who you've lost, and it's not your fault. You couldn't have seen those things coming. But if you get a guy that's already had the bye week like St. Brown or Swift, you have a huge advantage back in your favor. And G-Money to the moon.
To the moon.
G-Money is such a good supporter, and I absolutely just can't emphasize how much I appreciate G-Money. You're the man. I bought Chase low. Now just trade J-Rob, Zeke, Kurt Samuel for St. Brown, Swift, and I got to keep ETN. You wait. Just trade? You're saying you just traded because you said just trade. Just traded J-Rob, Zeke, and Curtis Samuel for St. Brown and Swift, and I got to keep ETN? You're saying you did that?
Got him.
Wrong. Muy mal.
King 25, code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo's been dispatched. King 25 out.
I mean, if you really pulled this off, Cody, you were absolutely the sorcerer of the day, probably of the week. I mean, I've never seen an offer that bad in my entire life. There's no way. I mean, I believe you, but I'm saying there's just no way I can imagine that happening.
The sorcerer of the day is...
I mean, that's just crazy,
Magic
bro.
Man.
Cody is the sorcerer of the day. No doubt about it. What a phenomenal trade. Your team is amazing. My team now is Rodgers, Swift, Fournette, ETN, Eno Benjamin, JJ, Chase, Lockett, Pittman, Everett, and Njoku. Where's your Swift and St. Brown? I assume you got Swift and St. Brown or St. Brown. Where's St. Brown? I don't see St. Brown in there. Swift, St. Brown. Samuel for Swift, St. Brown. I'm assuming Swift's in here. If Swift's in there, bro, your team's phenomenal. Chase, St. Brown, Pittman. Couldn't get better wide receivers than that. Swift, St. Brown, Pittman. That's absolutely phenomenal. And then you got Swift, Fournette, Rodgers. You got ETN still. You're 4-1. You've got no bye weeks from Swift and St. Brown. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill it. I would maybe look to sell Fournette high. I know you Fournette truthers think that I'm gonna be wrong on that, but Fournette getting hurt still concerns me. And I think that you could sell safely and laterally to the point where even if I'm wrong and Fournette balls out all year long, you're still going to be plenty happy trading into a much safer vehicle. That's all I'm saying. But appreciate your $50 hauler.
To the moon.
To the moon, my man. I appreciate you. Guys, we had a good week. We had a really good week from a fantasy perspective on the show. Like a lot of the guys we've been talking up Granted, Javonte getting hurt was horrible. We started off slow with Pierce. People were like, nice call on Pierce, Smitty. Way to go. Week 1, cutting him. Garbage, cutting him. That's the reaction people have. 1 week, people give up on him. Pierce looks phenomenal. Breece Hall, they're never going to feed him. It's the Jets, Smitty. It's the Jets. Breece Hall ain't going to be good. Breece Hall ain't going to be good, Smitty. And it did take some time. Kenneth Walker, what do? Cut him? Do I just cut Kenny Walker? You know how many people cut Kenny Walker? It's all coming together. Chase and Burrow bouncing back. We still need everybody to continue to get more volume. We need Walker and Hall to get more and more work. We need ETN to earn a lot more value. But he's on the verge. He's on the edge, I think. He's scratching at the surface. ETN is definitely almost being fed what we want him to be fed to produce what we wanted him to produce. When we invested what we invested on draft day, ETN scratching at the surface. And if he had gotten that hasty carry, that carry that Hasty took to the house, had he gotten that James Robinson carry in week 3 or something, where wide open rushing lane where James Robinson was dragging his leg and everyone's like, he looks so good. No, he didn't. And if he would have just got that carry or the other carry, the Hasty carry, we'd be talking about ETN at the same level as Walker. I know you guys may not feel that way right now because it didn't happen. Had ETN ripped off that Hasty touchdown run, if that carry was ETN's, ETN would have taken it to the house, if not faster or the same. And if ETN had gotten that carry, we would be looking at 150 rushing yards, a touchdown, and conversation around, is he top 10? Is he top 10? Not running back. Is he top 10 going forward? Oh my God, this guy's a monster. That's how crazy things are in fantasy football. One play could have changed everything. East Coast Tatty with the $10 hauler. East Coast Tatty to the moon.
To the moon.
Let me get to these super chats here. East Coast, appreciate you, my guy. Let me get these. Trone Force, thank you for the super chat. Clicky, appreciate you. Trone, did I get this one already? Lost Hollywood down to Diggs, Pittman, Cooper. Would you use the number 4 waiver priority to pick up Anderson, Claypool, or Palmer off waivers? I don't know. I suppose, but what if someone great gets cut? Will you even move to number 1 anytime in the next couple weeks? If you think you could, I'd maybe hold off on using it, but if you think that you're never going to get the 1, you're going to wait all year for the 1 pick and you're going to stay at 3 or 4 and never really get, like if Aaron Jones got cut, I know a lot of you might say, I don't want Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones got cut, I'd be picking him up. And I'm getting so many DMs about giving up on Aaron Jones. Wouldn't be shocked if he was cut in like 2% of leagues, 1% of leagues, like people just cutting Aaron Jones. People are fickle. And they just want to move on. And smaller leagues constitute different reactions, right? So in smaller leagues, you could get cut. In big leagues, no way you get cut. So people are weird, bro. I've seen Swift got cut in 2 leagues in one night on my text line. And I'm like, bro, you got to pick up. And they knew. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get Swift. 2 people got Swift off the waiver wire. So it's crazy. Not everybody plays in grandma leagues. I get it. But my point is, I don't know those details. Is it a grandma league? Could somebody get cut? Has Walker been cut in this league? Before you say Aaron Jones won't get cut in a league, Smitty, are you crazy? How many people cut Walker? How many people cut Walker? Too many. 1 is too many. 1 Walker cutting was too many. And so my question would be, in your league, did someone cut Walker? And was he sitting out there? If your league's that type of league, I don't know. The pick could be valuable. But Robbie Anderson's okay. East Coast Tatty, 12 keeper PPR, got Josh Allen, Damian Pierce, Algier, Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, DK, Hopkins, Olave, McKenzie, Pierce, Kittle, lost Javonte. We start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex. I'm 6-0. East Coast Tatty, 6-0. Do I move a wide receiver for a second running back or hold like William Wallace? Hold. I think, you're 6-0 for a reason, bro. But Pierce and maybe you trade Olave or Hopkins or DK. I wouldn't trade Amon-Ra. He's got no bye week. I try and go after Swift. If you got to give up AJ Brown for Swift, I would do it. If you could give up Olave and What else could you do? People like trading for tight ends, even though Kittle and Olave, Kittle and Hopkins, Kittle and DK, Kittle. You might be able to get Swift for that. You could probably get Swift for AJ Brown straight up, and I probably would consider that, given what it would do for your running back situation and given how good your wide receivers look. I'd go after that. Would I go after Aaron Jones on the dirt cheap? And I'm talking like, I don't even know if I would trade Hopkins for, I'd rather have Hopkins than Aaron Jones, I think. Najee, I'd probably rather have than a couple players, but maybe I like Hopkins over Najee at this point. I don't know. Maybe in your situation, I'd take a gamble on Najee, and Najee's somebody I don't want anybody owning. So, like, there's certain circumstances that I would maybe take a stab at Najee. And, you've got Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, DK, Olave. You probably could afford trading Hopkins for Najee if you wanted to take a little bit of a risk. Aaron Jones is very decent for Hopkins, very decent for potentially DK, but I'd rather give Hopkins. I'd rather keep Olave, DK, AJ Brown, and Amon-Ra and trade Hopkins for an Aaron Jones. Mixon, you might be able to get using a Hopkins and player that's not one of your top 4 wide receivers. Algier and Hopkins for Mixon is possible. Those are all areas that I would attack, but Swift is the guy I want most. I appreciate your super chat. Traded Mixon, MT, Jameson Williams for JT Higgins. Traded Mixon, MT, and Jameson Williams for JT and Higgins.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
That's crazy. And people say these trades don't get done. Never do I get a trade. Like, I see them all the time. JT, I would have taken JT alone for that. And you got JT and Higgins. Welcome to the championship week 17 battle, bro. You just walked yourself right into the championship, bro. Unbelievable. Tron, appreciate you. Down to the waiver. Yeah, I got Tron's question. East Coast Tatty, I took care of. Thank you, East Coast Tatty, for that super chat. Albert, great job, bro. Absolutely phenomenal job. And again, thanks again, Cody, for the $50 hauler. You were absolutely phenomenal, my guy. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Who's next? I got another super chat sitting here. 500 something people in here. Please punch that thumb up if you're new, and please subscribe if you're new. 12-man PPR, 3 wide receivers: Hurts, Eckler, Hall, Pierce, Walker, JJ, AJ Brown, D. Smith, Pitts. Bench is B-Rob, Pickens, Dobbs, Rashad White. Want to package Pierce or Walker with Smith for a wide receiver upgrade. Don't trade Walker. Don't trade Walker. Walker should get you your wide receiver upgrade by himself. You don't need to package nobody with Walker if you want to get a wide receiver upgrade. But I don't know that I'm trading Eckler, Hall. Well, I mean, you do have enough. Maybe Chase would have been perfect if it just lined up right. Adams, he's bye week free. He's bye week free. And you could maybe trade Walker for Adams. Maybe you got to give up a little more, but he's a running back. He's an RB that's on fire, climbing. Everybody wants to own him. It's not crazy to think you get Diggs or you get Adams for Walker. And if you've got to give up something else, like, what was it, Devontae Smith? Was it? Dobbs, White, who was it? Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith and Walker for Adams or Diggs or Chase. If the Chase owner's like, look, I got a lot of value out of him. I want to get rid of him. There's a roller coaster ride I don't want to get on anymore. Like, you could get him. You never know. But one of those 3 wide receivers for Walker, yes. In your scenario, yes. Pierce, Hall, Eckler. Pierce already had his bye. Don't trade him. That's a huge advantage. Yes. I, Smitty, approve that for your team.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And I don't like trading Walker at all. So for me to Smitty approve it, it's got to be a pretty good deal, because I want nothing to do with trading Walker. I want everything to do with owning Walker. Hassan says, should I trade Kamara for Dameon Pierce and Dobbs? I probably would. I get more though, because you can. I think you can. But Pierce is already at his bye, bro. That's a huge advantage. And he's a monster. But you probably can command more due to fair market value of the two guys. Decimate with a $10.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Thank you, Decimate. Decimate says got offered Swift, St. Brown, Hawkinson for Andrews. Swift, St. Brown, Hawkinson for Andrews.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
Look, it is what it is. You Andrews truthers out there, you got to let go of it. You get an offer like this, doesn't matter. Bye, Andrews. See you later. It's been swell, pal. It's been fun. But Andrews, get your bags and get out. Get your bags, pack your bags, and get out. Because guess what? St. Brown and Swift and Hawkinson are moving in. And it's bottom line. It's a business. See ya. Case closed. Total steal.
Got him.
And it's hard to say that. It's hard to actually muster up the words, trade Andrews, get him out of here. But with that trade, bro, you're getting the world. You're getting 3 players that have already had their bye week. Insane. Number 2 in waiver, and Pitts got dropped. You grab him too. It's a winning day for you, Decimate. You're decimating everybody.
You've just been Smitty approved.
This guy decimates people for a living. Thank you for the $10 hauler. It's a good day for you. It's a good day to be Decimate. It's a good day to be Decimate. I'll tell you that right now. Matthew with $2 hauler. CD or Debo rest of season. Can trade Sutton and Monty for 1. Debo. I don't trust CD Lamb as much as I trust Debo getting fed a lot. Do I trust Debo to get hurt or stay healthy? Do I trust him to stay healthy? I don't know. But CD Lamb's been banged up too. And Dak, do I trust Dak to stay healthy? I don't know. So I'm trading Sutton and Monty for Debo, and I'm not looking back. Would I do it for CD Lamb as well? Probably, yeah. Probably. Ozzy with a super chat, $5 hauler. Trade JJ. Thank you, Ozzy. Trade JJ and Tyreek for Devontae Adams. JJ or Tyreek for Devontae Adams and Swift and Hopkins. I'm not trading JJ if at all possible, but I'm certainly sending Tyreek Hill bye-bye for Adams and Swift, let alone Adams, Swift, and Hopkins. If I had to, I would trade JJ for Devontae Adams, Swift, and Hopkins. That is an absolute steal. I would try and get the Devontae Adams side because Adams has already had his bye. Swift has already had his bye, and Hopkins is ready to roll. This is a phenomenal trade, but getting rid of Tyreek over JJ is a big accomplishment and a huge win, a double win. But either way, I'm taking that. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I'd buy JJ, but hopefully JJ can stay, and you send Tyreek Hill. Appreciate everybody dropping those super chats. Should I trade Eckler for Pierce and St. Brown? Wow. Eckler for Pierce and St. Brown.
You've just been Smitty approved.
So I'm the only one saying that Adams could face a suspension. Not many other people are talking about it or predicting that. So Peach, I've been saying expect a 1 game, just to expect the worst, but you never know. They may not do anything. I would imagine they have to. I think when you put your hands on a staff member that is allowed to be on the field and you shove him to the ground on purpose, you didn't run into him or you literally shove this man to the ground. I expect a 1 game. I do. I mean, I could be wrong. Another last place finish, says Rush. Your team not doing well, Rush? Let us know if we can help. Daniel says traded Sutton and Aaron Jones for JT.
Let's go! Mashed potato!
Sutton and Aaron Jones for JT and Brandon Cooks. Phenomenal. Thank you for the super chat. That's an amazing trade, my guy. Amazing trade. Smitty should have traded Eckler. I already got that one. What was I looking at? If Hollywood Brown hurt, what wide receiver can I trade for Mixon, Pierce, or Stevenson? I'd keep Pierce. He's got no more bye week concerns, so that's a huge advantage. Stevenson, Mixon. I probably try and trade Stevenson on the off chance that Harris comes back and we don't have a full-time runner. I like Stevenson more than Mixon though, but it's just I don't. We know Mixon's in his role. We don't know for sure how much run Stevenson's going to get all year. So would I try and get like I'd reach for something more than Higgins. Higgins is acceptable if like push came to shove, but I feel like you can get more. I feel like Debo or AJ Brown's attainable if you throw something in with Stevenson. But that's kind of the way I would approach that, I suppose. My running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Chubb, Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Pierce, and Kenneth Walker. I would trade one. I would start shopping around Stevenson, bro, with a wide receiver. Smitty, did you get my member chat? I did not. Let me see if I can find that.
Being healthy just got.
Let's see here. Member chat from. I don't see it. Can you post it again, bro? Post the question again. Waddle or Mixon rest of season? Probably Waddle. Oscar, Mike Cooper for Olave and Dotson. Give me Olave all day long over Amari Cooper, bro. All day long. It's not even close in a dynasty. It's not even remotely close at all. Olave is very, very talented. Overcome says traded for JJ and Diggs last week after crazy trades. Got the W. Now I'm 1-5. JJ Diggs on a bye. Do I trade one for a wide receiver? And I have DJ Moore plus Pickens. I'm only trading like Diggs for St. Brown and something because St. Brown's coming off of his bye week, and that could help you, a team that's 1-5 that needs every bit of help he can get. But you'd have to get something with St. Brown. And I think I'd maybe explore that if that's possible. But I don't know that I'm trading those guys because of a bye week. I know you're 1-6 and you need the wins, but I don't know that I'm just going to trade them unless I'm getting some kind of bye week advantage because you're just kicking the can down the road. But if you solve the problem by getting St. Brown, who doesn't have a bye week going forward, then all of a sudden I start liking this deal. You know what I'm saying? Stevenson and Olave for CD. I'd rather have Olave and Stevenson, bro. I'd rather have Olave and Stevenson big drop, and it's not even really that close to me. That might sound crazy to you, but Olave could hang with CD. Just let him get back to form, my guy. You know, he's coming back. He's going to play, and he's going to be fine. Yo, Smitty, what side do you like, Cup or Chubb, St. Brown? Give me Chubb and St. Brown, and I'm running. And I love Cup, but look, that's two amazing talents, bro. Chubb's had one bad game. And while I did say sell him high, not because I don't believe in Chubb, but because his value was at an all-time high. And you could have got the world for him. I'm not trading him away and that or not acquiring him at that value. That's phenomenal value. It's an unbelievable trade. With Anderson's departure, the Carolina's off. Carolina is worse. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible. Trade Evans for A.J. Brown. I'd rather have A.J. Brown, but it's arguable. Harvest with a super chat. Thank you, Harvest. I didn't mean for you to have to super. I just didn't see your question. I'm sorry, bro. Harvest says, need running back 2, Hurts, Pierce, B-Rob, J.J. Pittman, Taysom, Godwin, bench, Keenan Allen, Pickens, Kareem Hunt, Pacheco. Appreciate your super chat, Harvest. You need a running back 2. So you got Pierce. B-Rob's a running back 2. But would I like a better running back too? Sure. Godwin and B-Rob for Swift. Godwin and B-Rob for Swift. B-Rob, I mean, I like Pittman a lot, but I'd trade B-Rob and Pittman for Swift too. I think. I'd rather give Godwin, though. I'd rather give Godwin and Keenan Allen and B-Rob for Swift, if I could, to keep Pittman. But, B-Rob's a good player, bro. Walker, you upgrade B-Rob into Walker, maybe, using Keenan Allen and B-Rob for Walker. I mean, I've seen that thing happen, bro. I've seen people do that all the time. It's possible. People are sleeping at the wheel, my guy. They're sleeping at the wheel right now. Not everybody knows what we know. Not everybody sees Walker from the same lens we see him from. Receive you're 2-3, records 2-3, 12 PPR, QB Garrett, Geno Smith, Dak, running back JT, Kenneth Walker, Eno Benjamin, Rashad White, Najee, Sutton, Godwin, Pickens. I'm trading across position. Najee for Higgins. Najee for, I'd almost take DK. Upgrade the wide receiver room. I know DK sounds like it's not a good move for Najee, but DK, man, he might be. And Geno's playing fine. Like, I'm not worried about him. I probably take that. Does the chat disagree with me? Who would rather have DK over Najee? Najee or DK? And almost, thank you for the super chat, bro.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
$9.99 holler snuck up on me there, bro. Appreciate you. I didn't stand at first. I'm sorry. I stand whenever someone drops a $10 holler. If I never do, remind me, bump me, nudge me. I've got Cook, Swift, Walker at running back, Chase, Diggs, Lamb, Olave, Hopkins at wide receiver. Do I try and package Cook to upgrade running back to get a more stable running back? Yes. Cook will be on my sell high list. Get rid of Cook. Do it before this week. He doesn't fit in this offense. The offense isn't good for Cook. It's not good for Cook. It's not a good offense for Cook. Go after Swift. Hardcore, bro. Go after Swift hardcore. Cook and you got Swift. You know what I do if I'm you? You've got Swift and Walker. Your wide receivers are great too, though. Man. Cook for Kelsey? I don't know who your tight end is. Cook for Kelsey? I'd try and get that done. You're good at running back. You're good at wide receiver. You get Kelsey. Maybe that's the move for you. I think that's what I'm doing, bro. Past that, I mean, do I want you to get like a Chubb or Eckler or yeah, I do. I don't know that I want you giving up the world for it though, but I think a straight up Cook for Kelsey might get it done. People need running backs so bad, my guy. They need running backs. I've got Cook, Swift, Walker, and yeah. I appreciate your super chat. I'm going after Kelsey. Cody, $10 holler.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
The Codemeister. Rodgers is my only QB, and Russell Wilson just got dropped. Should I pick up Russell Wilson or sign somebody else? Fournette or also trade Fournette for Burrow? Probably not. I love Burrow, but I think Aaron Rodgers can have a little bit of a bounce back, maybe. I like Burrow a lot. It would depend on your running backs, Cody, whether I would trade Fournette for Burrow. But I probably would rather have Russell Wilson than most backups, I suppose. But I'd have to know who the other backup would be. But to have Russell Wilson or Rodgers, at least you got some options. I don't trust Russell Wilson right now. Certainly bench him for the time being. But he might become relevant again. He's done this before where he started off horrible or, and then come back to life. But it would depend on your running backs. But I would say in general, I probably would rather get something else for Fournette. But I would sell Fournette high. I would. Kirkpatrick, 4-2 in PPR. Do I trade my Breece and Devontae for Saquon? No. Breece Hall is maybe equal to Saquon, my man. No. And then you get Adams. Not even close. Not even close, Zach. That would be an awful trade. I know everybody loves Saquon right now, but Breece Hall is right there with them, and you get Devontae Adams. It's not even close, bro. This is. You know what I think of that offer?
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
And to answer this question right here, what was it? Where is it? Dalvin Cook for Mark Andrews. Do that. That trade. Kelsey or Mark Andrews, do it straight up for Cook. For that guy that had that question. Traded Hunt and Dobbs for Pittman last week, Smitty.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
Can I get some got him emojis? That's how you do it, bro. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We've been saying that on the show for the last week. Go get Pittman. Go do it now before it's too late. It's too late now. Diggs for St. Brown and Josh Allen. Add Wilson. Diggs for St. Brown and Josh Allen. I take St. Brown and Josh Allen in a heartbeat for just Diggs. St. Brown could be as good as Diggs. What are we doing here? It's phenomenal.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Hopefully that's an actual offer, not just an idea, because that idea probably will never play out. But I love it. I love it. I have Herbert, Pierce, Swift, Debo, Higgins, Hollywood, Ertz. $10 hauler, by the way.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Thank you. Cass J? I don't know how to say that name. Swift, Debo, Higgins, Hollywood, Jeff Wilson. Trade Jeff Wilson while you can. Hold Pitts. Any suggestions? Okay. So no, I mean Herbert, Pierce, Swift, Debo, Higgins, Hollywood. Hollywood's gonna be probably out for the year. Dobbins and Wilson. You know what I would do if I was you? This is gonna sound a little crazy because everybody thinks he's garbage right now, but I would trade Dobbins or Wilson for Aaron Jones right now. I would trade Dobbins and Wilson for Aaron Jones right now, on the chance that Aaron Jones rebounds. I would trade both of those guys for a let's see, Wilson and Dobbins for DK, for AJ Brown, for Andrews, for all shooting high. I get it, but all those pieces. But I'm going after Aaron Jones with that. Swift, I'd do that for Swift in a heartbeat. Hey Smitty, I'm 8 points down, but I have Denver kicker, so I need 3 field goals tonight. All right, guys, Petty needs 3 field goals. Let's get it done. Appreciate you. Joshua and Lewis with super chats. Appreciate both of you. Lewis says, should I keep Rondale Moore since Brown is out? I would, but obviously depends on the details. But in general, yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Murphy, appreciate you. Jacobs for Mike Evans or Brees plus Kirk for Debo. Don't trade Brees for Debo. Jacobs for Mike Evans. I suppose if you need a wide receiver, that's pretty even, and I'd probably lean Evans. 4-2, 12-man. Yeah. If you're going to trade Jacobs for St. Brown or Swift in a deal. Do you have either one? I don't think you do. My voice is shot. Voice is shot. Who do I trade to replace Hollywood? Lamar, JT, Fournette, Debo, Hollywood, Kittle, Samuel, Tua, Mostert, Gallup, Pierce, Dobbs, Renfro, Patterson. Maybe you could get rid of Patterson on the off chance somebody's like, okay, I can wait on him. And you get rid of Patterson and Curtis Samuel for like Aaron Jones, bro. I don't know. Kittle, go rogue at tight end. Pick up Taysom Hill when he's dropped this week by his owner. Pick up Taysom Hill. Have some faith in him. Get rid of Kittle. Use Kittle and Fournette and go get Swift. Use Kittle and Fournette and go get Diggs, Adams. That's probably where I would head, bro. Trade Fournette for Kenneth Walker straight up. I would. Appreciate you, Jay Eggs. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern unless more news breaks. Thank you all for joining me. If I miss a super chat on the way out, please, please, please put it in the comments and I will get back to you. I'm going to try and reply to every comment on the last video and the video before that and this video. It's just taking me some time. Appreciate everybody. Trade away Eckler for St. Brown. What is this question? St. Brown and Pierce for... So, trade away Eckler for St. Brown, Walker, or St. Brown, Pierce. If you need a move, I would do it. Eckler's maybe worth a tad more even, but if you need a move, I'd probably take either one of those deals, but I'd probably lean Pierce because he's already had his bye week. Wentz 4 to 6. Yeah, Wentz is out for a while. Wentz is definitely out for a while. Appreciate you all. See you at 7 p.m. I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. every single Monday through Friday, so I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm also live whenever news breaks, which is what this video is about, because Hollywood Brown probably out for the year. Robbie Anderson traded to the Cardinals. Hopkins coming back. There's a lot to talk about. I go live whenever news breaks, just like that. I'm also live at midnight. It's just an extra live stream, right? Midnight, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Later. Trade Kenneth Walker for James Conner. No, Jake. No.
Muy mal.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Jake, don't make that trade, please.
Smitty, you're not hearing me. I don't know a lot about fantasy football. I know everything about fantasy football. Woo! You know?
And real quickly, yeah, like the video. Please subscribe if you're new. Don't ever leave before the credits come up. Look what happens. 200 people left. We have 300 people still in here. I only have 149 thumbs up. There was 500 people in here. Can we please punch that thumb up button for your boy Smitty before you bail? Just the 300 people left. Let's get it to 200. We get it to 2 bills, I'll be happy. So please, the 300 people in here, punch the thumb up button for your boy Smitty. If you're new, subscribe. Subscribe. And second of all, that guy that almost traded Kenneth Walker for Connor, I want you to send him this video clip. We're 1 hour and 12 minutes in, or 1 hour and 13 minutes in. This is what I think of your buddy's trade offer that he sent you, where he wanted to acquire your massive Kenneth Walker, your monster, your Kenneth Skywalker for his Connor.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
No. No. Syndicate says Cook Lamb for Adams. Too much. Try and get a little more, Syndicate. But I mean, it's on the right track. I mean, I'm getting rid of Cook. So I like where you're headed with this, but you get like a Pittman thrown in, or a, you know what I mean? Like something good. Appreciate you. Waddle and Najee Harris for Aaron Jones. Feels like too much just because it is. It's because it is, Brad. It's because you're losing them. I mean, I would trade Harris for Aaron Jones. You're going to give him Waddle? You're going to give him Waddle? No, bro. I take Aaron Jones over Harris. I really do. At this point, I do. But you throwing Waddle? What's going on? No. No. See you all at 7 p.m.
Get breached.